Hey, my beautiful friends. So I pulled a few cards, and if you were guided to this message, that means there's probably something in it for you. Remember to only take what resonates to you by your intuition and leave the rest. So I got a message here, and I pulled a few cards just to see kind of what was going on with you guys today, or whenever you happen to get this message. And what they're showing me is some blockages are being removed, okay, when it comes to past relationships, past hurts, past traumas. And what I have here is the 8 of Wands, the 10 of Wands, the 6 of Cups, the Devil in reverse, the King of Cups in reverse, and the Hanged Man. So this is telling me that something that you were either bonded to in the past, something that left a heavy weight on your shoulders, in your heart, okay? I feel like you've been doing a lot of work, and with this new energy coming in, you're going through some sort of a shift here, and now things are going to be escalating for you quickly when it comes to new romances, okay? I feel like you're finally getting past that hump of whatever happened in your past relationships, whether it didn't work out, whether, you broke it off with them, they broke it off with you, whatever was left, like as residual, okay? I feel like it caused some sort of blockages when it came to you moving forward. Now, I also feel like there could have been a time where you may have felt like you were forced into solitude, like you weren't connecting with anybody, or you wanted to get away from everybody, or you chose to do that, okay? And I feel like that was a good time out, because I feel like that allowed you to process whatever it was that you're going through. Now, this is not to say that anyone was at fault, okay? But whatever happened between you and a past relationship or relationships, or the lack of, or, whatever it may be, because everybody's going to be a little bit different. No one's to say that you were at fault. No one's to say that someone else is at fault. This is not the point of that reading. The point is if you were aligned with this, that you've let go of that finally. There's something that you let go of, whether it was resentment because, they hurt me, blah, 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 blah. It's kind of like, you're like, okay, well, the only way that I'm going to be able to move forward and not, wish anything bad upon anybody or put the blame on anybody, including myself or someone else, is just to let it go. And I feel like that took a lot of internal processing. So there was a lot of alone time, okay, which probably, made it even tougher. Like, I wouldn't be in this situation if it wasn't for that relationship. But there came a point where you realized that this was a blessing. And I feel like that's when these things are going to be lifted, okay? These blockages are going to be lifted. The path is going to open up for you, okay? The path to not only meeting somebody on, a deep soul, a deep emotional level, somebody that you're going to click with, somebody that you're going to bond with. I'm seeing that you're going to be connecting with more people that have gone through this situation, okay? And I feel like you're not going to feel stuck anymore, okay? We also have the High Priestess underneath that. So I feel like you're starting to get more downloads. You're starting to, the more and more that you release from your past, or even past life even, okay? I'm seeing here that you're getting a lot of spiritual upgrades and downloads as well, especially, now that we have entered into, the sun has entered into Cancer. So you could be waking up, really, really hot. That's what happened to me last night. Or whenever you happen to get this, I feel like you're integrating a lot of new energy. So it's almost like heat rises, like I like to say, and things internally, like held on the inside, are being burned off because new energy is coming in here, okay? So yeah, I'm definitely seeing here with the 8 of Cups that it's when you finally healed from this, okay? You could have walked away from it. You could have released it. You could have done cord cutting, but something still made you feel stuck, okay? Whatever it was. And I feel like this is the moment where you start to wake up and you don't think about it. Or you don't think about, why hasn't the new person come in yet? You just are at peace. And that's when it starts to pick up the pace here. I'm also seeing the Queen of Cups. So your heart, I feel like there was a lot of, blockages removed from your heart, and that's because of the work that you've done. It's like the hard work pays off, and it takes time. It's not something that you can decide, sometimes, and you can decide it, and you could say it out loud, and you could pray for it, you could journal about it, you can ask your guides about it, but it does take time. It takes time for your energy body to catch up with the decisions that you make for yourself and how you feel about those decisions. So it's very important that if you're still going through this process, you guys, to not get frustrated with yourself or your angels or your guides, or, because it is in the works. It just takes time. So your mind may not be comprehending what's already going on in the background or on the inside, as within, so without, right? But whoever this reading is for, I feel like you're getting to a point where you're starting to wake up at peace, okay? And the more peaceful you are, the more things you can find that bring you joy and happiness, because those other things aren't holding on to you on the inside. This includes new love coming in. The moment that you let go and you realize, I'm okay. I would rather be okay now than where I was a year ago or 6 months ago or even a couple months ago or a couple years ago. And I needed that time more than I realized. I needed that time. And now I can find what makes me happy again. And when you start to do that, that's when these other things come in too. So blockages are being removed. I'm seeing here that you're going to be connecting with somebody. Now, let me just see if I can get any information on, no, should we do the romance oracle? Let's see here. Romance angels. Ooh, we got flirt that got stuck in the box. And so it's almost like maybe there was a point where, you didn't even want to flirt with anybody because you're like, no, anytime I attract anybody in, it comes, in the wrong type of energy. And I feel like your spirit guides are saying it's okay to get out there and share your energy with others in a way that is lighthearted, okay? Because there might be somebody that you can connect with. And I feel like it's okay, even if you're feminine and you're in that energy of I don't chase, I attract. And there's somebody that follows my channel. It's actually the second time I brought up one of her stories, but I know she won't be upset with me. She mentioned that she kept catching eyes with this guy at the gym, and there was something mysterious about him, but they're always like passing each other at the gym. And I saw on 𝗗ście, I love to follow 𝗗ście. I actually wanted to be a life coach for him once, and I interviewed for it, but then I decided not to do it. It's a long story. Anyhow, I saw on there that he had somebody on one of his podcasts or whatever he does, and she said, if you're interested in somebody or if you see somebody catching eyes, even if they have their headphones on, and she gave the gym, for example, to walk by and just be like, hey, and keep walking. Because if you say it in a certain way, okay, if you say it in like a flirty way, but you're smiling, you're just saying hi, you're just saying hey. So if they aren't interested, they'll kind of look at you and be like, hi. Or be like a little taken back, or they won't say anything at all. Okay, easy peasy. Then they're not meant for you, right? But if they are, even if they've got their headphones in, what she was saying is they will be intrigued and they'll take their headphones out and be like, hey. So I feel like even if you're in that energy of, oh, I'm not going to chase somebody. Well, that means chasing somebody, blowing up their phone, and relentlessly needing to be validated, wanting their attention, okay? But you're allowed to get out there and flirt, honey. You're allowed to flirt with people, okay? Obviously, I'm not saying go throw yourself, at somebody like, in a desperate manner. But if you want someone to talk to you, but you feel that they're too afraid to say something, then say hey or hi, okay? Even if you are in the energy of I don't chase, I attract, it is okay to do that. And I feel like these blockages are being removed to let you know that it's okay to get out there and start meeting people. We also have wedding on the bottom here, okay? So I feel like you're going to end up meeting the person that's right for you. We got romantic feelings when I split the deck. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So if you see somebody that you are physically attracted to, or you find something, you're attracted to their light, okay? And they keep smiling at you, or you guys keep catching eyes, but maybe they're shy, okay? It's okay for you to say hi. It doesn't hurt anything. It's not going to be devastating or break your heart if they don't say anything, because you're not emotionally invested with that person, okay? So I feel like that is a sign coming out here, okay? And don't be upset if they don't say hey. Maybe they're in a relationship or something. You never know. But what if the one person that you do walk by and say hi, that you've been intrigued by, that you've been catching eyes with every time you walk by at the office, but you've never been introduced to, or at the gym, or at the grocery store, whatever it may be, what if it is the person that takes their headphones out and they're like, hey, I noticed you too. I was hoping you were going to say something. So I feel like that's the energy coming through here. I'm not going to pull any more of these cards because I feel like that's the energy. It's okay, not to be like, well, I don't chase, I attract. And everyone has to come talk to you. You're allowed to speak to people, especially people that you think that you might be interested in. to break the ice a little and see where it goes. Okay, so I'm gonna go and close it here, but I love you guys. Bye.